We eventually run into Majestic, the chewing gum cow sculpture.
He can sleep in if he wants to, Bill.
That boy slept enough in the car. It's a beautiful day outside. He should be enjoying it out with the rest of us. And what about that gathering today in the back room? If I'm going to sit in on a cult, we're going to do it as a family.
Pan over to see Bill and Mary reading the plaque next to the mounted statue. It reads Majestic, the world's largest chewing gum sculpture of a cow, as seen on the billboards. Nick stands inches from the statue's face. He looks around and sticks his gum under the cow sculpture. When he pulls his hand back, it is covered with milk.
He shouldn't get in trouble, Bill. He's with Gail.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Still, the little weirdo could use some excitement.
Interior motel room day. Seth wakes up groggily on the floor. The blurred camera slowly focuses on what's in front of him. Pull out to see Gail sleeping next to Seth. She shifts in her sleep and moves toward us. Seth, paralyzed, is centimeters from Gail's cleavage. Gail's half-asleep eye suddenly snaps open and sees Seth. Interior motel room continuous. Seth sits on the edge of the bed, tapping his feet on Gail's aluminum suitcase. Off camera, the shower can be heard.
You didn't have to freak out, you know.
You didn't have to scream back.
I only screamed because you screamed. How long are you going to stay with us?
He turns to the bathroom. Half his face is covered with a hand-shaped slat mark.
You know what's not creepy? Waiting outside the bathroom and probing me with questions.
I'm not going to stop until you admit what you're going to do to my parents.
The bathroom door opens. A cloud of steam billows out, surrounding Gail as she steps out. With one towel on her head and one on her torso, her silhouette alone is seductive.
Tell you what, you play along, I promise nothing permanent will happen to your family. And who knows, someday down the road, you may even be happy we're not related.
She unravels the towel. It covers the screen. Motel lobby. Agent Greystone and Ronnie have a standoff. No one moves. Sweat drips down the Ronnie's face. He goes to escape. Greystone whips out his seatbelt, which weaves like a ribbon dancer. It smashes the front desk and wraps itself around Ronnie. Greystone slings him into a chair.
Well. I set out to capture my elusive ex-partner, and instead I find her underground supply.
Agent Greystone! I was hoping I'd get to insult you in person.
Such meaningless sarcasm. If you only knew, dear boy, that the FBI is here for your safety.
He tightens the seatbelt.
I think I heard a rib crack.
Silence! Answer my question.
What do you want? I can't do both.
Where is Gail?
Well, she's miles away by now.
Maybe so. But the true danger is right at hand, isn't it?
Dude, you tried too hard.
Fade 2. Interior motel back room. A high-roofed chapel. Ceiling lights bathe Pastor Maury Chono in a dusty haze. He stands behind an altar covered in flashy Christmas lights. He taps his fingernails together and opens his sci-fi pulp magazine.
Dear people, they walk amongst us. They, them, those responsible for things we don't quite understand.
The Cartwrights sit closest to Chono. Two tumbleweeds sit next to Nick.
Oh, look, honey. An eccentric. Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Interior motel room. Gail is now fully dressed and slips on a pair of sparkling elbow-length red gloves.
Hey, what'd you mean last night when you said things are going to get ugly?
Foreshadowing. Someone tries to kick in the door and fails. They pause. The doorknob is slowly turned and opened slightly. Agent Greystone kicks in the door triumphantly.
Aha! Your time has come, Gail.
I wonder if criminals can still file for restraining orders.
Hey, you know him?
Release the hostage and come quietly.
Hostage? Are you a criminal?
Greystone whips his seatbelt. Gail ducks behind Seth. Greystone captures Seth instead and reels him in.
Bondage, that's what your fear is. Bondage, keeping you from joining with the spirit of the universe.
Motel back room. Chono is walking among people seated for the sermon, stomping on the ground and moving his arms frantically.
That bondage is named memories. Your old dirty memories are what strangles your hearts.
His hand bursts through his coat and pretends to strangle him.
Give us your photographs. Money, consider this salvation insurance. Down payments in the basket. Remember, the more you give, the more you get.
Motel room. Seth struggles against the seatbelt. It turns him upside down in midair.
Gail, help! Lesson learned, young man. Women like Gail only think about themselves. You are not the first heart she's ever devoured. No. Nor the first she's ever abandoned. In the janitor's closet. Covered in corn oil. Nothing to keep you company but your own tube sock. Balled up and wedged in your mouth.
I thought adults didn't cry.
Silence!
Greystone convulses and falls down, revealing Gail standing behind him, holding her taser. Seth falls out of the seatbelt into Gail's arms.
We're checking out. In case you haven't noticed, this room's getting a little crowded.
Interior motel back room. Chono is now twirling like a ballerina, grappling with the voice in his head. He pushes a basket into people's faces.
Relinquish those painful memories and give to me.
His eyes glow yellow.
Give us your photographs, your memories.
Normalizing voice.
Okay, let's make a compromise here. I'll take their money and their memories.
Yellow eyes.
Agreed.
Bill and Mary are hypnotized and drooling. Nick is playing on his PSP and doesn't notice. Close up on Bill reaching into his wallet and pulling out his credit card. Close up on Mary pulling out her Polaroids. The images on the pictures are fading away.
Seth would have liked this.
Who? The more you give, the more you get.
The more you give, the more you get. The more you give, the more you get.
Majestic roof. Seth is pushed out of the window onto the Spanish tile roofing. Gail leaps out after him. They scramble out of frame. Greystone leans out the window.
Halt! It's more convenient for me!
Hotel back room. High angle as Chono walks toward Nick, who continues tapping on his PSP. Chono tilts his chin upward and they make eye contact. Nick's eyes go blank.
Why don't you be a good boy and hand over your worldly possessions? You won't be needing them anymore.
Nick hands him his PSP. Chono tries to lift it, but Nick's hands can't release it. Chono shrugs and continues preaching, waving the PSP and Nick as he turns.
The time is at hand. In weeks, they will land and come to take all my followers to their eternal deliverance. Not just here, but the whole world must join us. We must journey as people to Orion's gate.
Majestic roof. Spaghetti Western music plays. The rooster from before crows until Greystone steps on it. Tilt up to see Greystone facing off against Gail.
Why don't you erase his mind?
Would if there was anything to erase.
Do not be fooled, boy. She's not only a threat to the nation, but to humanity itself. She will betray you. It's only a matter of time.
I won't force you, Seth. If you ask now, I'll leave your family alone. Just know that without me, you'll never reach Orion's gate. And you'll never find your brother.
How do you know where he is?
Orion's gate is a nexus. Everyone searching for answers is going to be gravitating towards it. If he's anywhere, he's there.
Why give me a choice?
She lies.
So what'll it be, kid?
Slow zoom in on Seth. Then his POV of Gail's profile. Then on the rooster, eagerly awaiting his decision.
Something in her voice. The unbreakable passion for freedom. Reminded me of something. A memory I thought I'd lost. And then I knew who she sounded like. She sounded like my brother. She sounded like Harry.
So you with me, kid?
Yes.
Idiot.
Insurrection. Then I have no choice but to eliminate you both.
He pulls out his seatbelt, which comes out stiff and holds it like a katana. Greystone whips his seatbelt. Gail dodges several snaps. Wherever it lands, the tiled roof shatters and sprays clay shrapnel. All is quiet. Seth uncovers his eyes. The dust clears. Greystone looks up. Gail drops from above.
Same old dog, same old truth.
Seth kicks him back. She kicks him back. Greystone sneers and throws his hat. Gail ducks. The hat hits the rooster standing next to Seth. The hat and rooster explode.
How is that necessary?
Submit, Harpy.
His seatbelt stiffens and shoots forward. It catches Gail's wrist. She cuts the belt with her razor-sharp fingernails. The belt flops down.
I never submit.
Gail grabs Seth and runs. Greystone tries one more time with his seatbelt. It snags Seth by the ankle.
Whoa!
Slow motion. Seth falls, flailing his arms. Gail turns to help him. Seth hits a sunroof window. Motel back room.
Ryan's gate is your salvation. If I'm lying, may the Savior himself descend from his cloud in the castle and strike me down.
Seth falls from the ceiling. Gail looks down through the hole in the roof. Her ring is frantically glowing yellow.
They must have already landed, and they're using that southern dandy as their new host, which means I've lost my chance to control it. This is the single worst.
The seatbelt lashes across her.
This isn't over, woman.
Get a clue, tightwad. Your threat to mankind is down there, and he's already mind-whipping people. He'll have their memories sucked dry in minutes.
Which leaves me plenty of time to capture you in the meantime.
Sorry, Seth. You're on your own now.
She dashes off, Greystone's seatbelt coming at her from all directions. Motel back room. Shono rises from the debris, holding Seth by the neck. Dusty, holy light pours in from the window Seth fell through. With the lighting and the outline of the splattered rooster feathers on his back, Seth appears angelic. A man rises from the crowd, stupefied. Savior, is that you? Close up on Seth as Chono lets him down. Pull out to reveal the whole congregation dropping to their knees before Seth. Fade to black. To be continued. End of episode.
Let's have one more round of applause for all of our readers, all of our actors, for you guys coming out. Big thank you to Eric Concom, big thank you to Between Us Productions, big thank you to all of our actors, big thank you to Miss Judith and her friend Natalie for all of these incredible animations. This has been Road Trippin'. You guys stick around. I've got a costume contest to host downstairs in about 10 minutes. Tomorrow at 12, Mario and I have our comedy singing power hour, and I'll be back hosting the masquerade. You guys have a great time. Maybe we'll find out next year what happens next. You guys have a great day. Thank you so much.